Every city hides a story. Some are built in the shadows, and sometimes one act of kindness changes everything. I shouldn't have helped. Rain drowned the streets of Seoul the night my life changed. Not the gentle kind of rain. Not the quiet drizzle that taps softly against windows. This rain felt heavier. Relentless. As if the sky itself had grown tired of holding everything in. Looking back now, I realized something strange. That night did not feel important when it began. It felt ordinary. Just another late delivery. Just another small step in a long fight to survive. But sometimes, the nights that seem ordinary become the ones that change everything. I didn't know that then. I was just trying to finish one more delivery before midnight. One more small payment toward a tuition bill that refused to shrink. The rain turned the neon lights of Seoul into blurred streaks across the pavement. Red, blue, white. All melting together like the city itself was dissolving in water. I pulled my hood tighter, adjusted the strap of my delivery bag. My shoes were soaked, my fingers numb. Cold crept through my sleeves and settled deep in my bones. But I kept walking. Because stopping was not an option. 2 years earlier, I had arrived in South Korea with a scholarship. And a dream. A dream folded carefully into the pages of my passport. My mother had cried at the airport. She tried to hide it. But I saw the tears anyway. My father hugged me longer than usual. Long enough for me to feel the weight of his pride. They believed this opportunity would change everything. And I believed it too. I studied international business. I memorized Korean vocabulary late into the night. I practiced pronunciation until my throat hurt. Because I told myself something every single day. No matter how far from home I felt, I would not waste this chance. But dreams don't always come with guarantees. When my father's business collapsed back home, when my mother's hospital bills grew heavier, the money stopped coming. My tuition didn't. So I made a choice. I would not go home defeated. During the day, I braided hair for African students in cramped dorm rooms. On weekends, I cooked traditional meals for wealthy families in Gangnam. They praised my food, but rarely remembered my name. I cleaned apartments before exams. And on nights like this, I delivered food in the rain. Because I wasn't helpless, I was determined. That night, I checked my phone. One last order, just one more. Then I would go home, shower, study, sleep for 4 hours. That was the plan. Plans. Do not survive certain nights. I saw him before I heard the babies. A tall man in a black suit, staggering beneath a flickering streetlight. At first, I thought he was drunk. Seoul had many tired men in expensive suits. Men who drank too much. Men who worked too hard. Men who forgot how to go home. He took one more step, then collapsed. The sound was soft, almost swallowed by the rain. But something about it felt wrong. Then I heard it. A baby crying. Sharp, cold, completely out of place in the empty street. I slowed down. 2 tiny boys were clutched against his chest. Twins, wrapped in damp blankets. One crying loudly, the other trembling silently. And then, I saw the blood. 3 dark stains spreading slowly across his white shirt. Not rainwater, blood, precise, intentional. He hadn't fallen. He had been shot. For a moment, I froze. This wasn't my world. I was a student, a foreigner, a girl trying to survive. I could walk away. No one would know. No one would blame me. But one of the twins reached upward, tiny fingers trembling in the rain. And that broke my hesitation. I ran to him. "Sir, can you hear me?" His eyes opened, sharp, focused, too calm for a dying man. They locked onto mine. "Take them," he whispered. "If they find me, they'll kill my sons." My breath caught. "Who?" I asked, but he was already fading. I heard the engines, low, slow, approaching. Black vans rolled into the street, no headlights, no logos, searching. That was the moment I understood something. This wasn't random. This wasn't street violence. This was organized, dangerous, without thinking. I wrapped the twins in my jacket, held them close, and walked. Slowly, carefully, like I belonged there, like I had nothing to hide. One of the men glanced at me. Our eyes met. For 1 second. Then he looked away, and I kept walking. That was the moment my life changed, because sometimes one decision in the rain can reshape an empire. And I didn't know it yet. But the man I helped that night was not just a stranger. He was Kang Joon-ho, the man who controlled half the city. I had stepped into a world that would never let me leave. I didn't understand what that meant then, but I felt the weight of it. Over the next few days, I learned more than I ever wanted to. Kang Joon-ho was not just a businessman. He was the head of one of Seoul's most powerful underground syndicates, an empire built on discipline, on order, on fear. But unlike others, he had rules. No children harmed, no drugs near schools, no trafficking. Power, with boundaries. And someone inside his own circle believed those boundaries made him weak, that someone had shot him. When I returned home that evening, my apartment door was slightly open. I knew I had locked it. The air inside felt wrong. Nothing was stolen. Nothing was broken. But on my wall, written in red paint, "Return what isn't yours," they knew. A shadow shifted behind me. "Do not panic," a calm voice said. I turned slowly. 2 of his men stood in my hallway. "We are here to protect you." Protect me? I wanted to laugh. I was a student with overdue tuition. Now I needed protection from organized crime. They moved me to a penthouse overlooking the Han River. Guards at every entrance, security in every corridor. The twins slept peacefully. But I didn't. He visited a week later, walking slowly, but upright.
"You are in danger because of me."
"Why protect me?" I asked. He studied me.
"Because you did not hesitate."
I held his gaze. "You said they would kill your sons. Who are they?"
"My own."
It was the first time I understood something essential. The most dangerous enemies are not outside the walls. They are inside them. His second in command, Park Dae-hyun, ambitious, impatient. He believed the empire needed expansion, more weapons, more territory, so he pulled the trigger himself. But Joon-ho survived. Now the underworld was divided, half loyal, half waiting. And I had become leverage. Weeks later, Seoul glowed beneath the penthouse balcony. The twins laughed as they crawled across the floor. For the first time since that rainy night, the apartment felt warm, safe. Joon-ho stood beside me, looking out over the city. "Sometimes," he said quietly,
"Kindness builds stronger empires than fear."
For a moment, I almost believed him. But peace never lasts long in a city like Seoul. That night we left the penthouse under heavy security. The twins were asleep in the back seat. Joon-ho's convoy moved quietly through the city streets. Black SUVs, tinted windows, silent escorts, no sirens, no attention, just shadows moving through the night. I thought we were safe. Until the first gunshot shattered the silence. Tires screeched, glass exploded, men shouted. The convoy was under attack. Someone had found us. And in that moment, I realized something terrifying. The war for Joon-ho's empire had only just begun. Our convoy was intercepted. Cars blocked the road, windows shattered, gunshots echoed. I shielded the twins with my body. For a moment that felt endless. One of them was torn from my arms. I screamed, not in fear, in fury. Seconds later, backup arrived. The baby was returned, but the message was clear. They could reach us. That night, he stood by the window. "If they want war," he said quietly, "they will have it." But I surprised him. "You lead through control," I said. "Do not let them turn you into what they want." He looked at me differently after that. Not as leverage, not as a liability, but as perspective. Weeks later, the confrontation came. An abandoned dockyard. Rain again. Dae-hyun accused him of weakness, of losing his edge, of caring too much.